Hello, 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 hello. So we are recording. Hello. So today we will do interview question of data structure is an algorithm. Before I start this question, I want to tell you that if you want this same video in Hindi, if you are comfortable in Hindi, अगर हिंदी में आपको मतलब इंग्लिश में दिक्कत हो रही है, अगर आपको हिंदी वीडियो देखना है तो इस वीडियो के लिंक में डिस्क्रिप्शन में लिंक होगा हिंदी वीडियो का. So you can go ahead and watch the Hindi video. The link will be in the description. If you want to read about the code which I'm writing here uh, in Hindi, English, or Hinglish, the link will be in the description. You can go ahead and read about it in a very detailed way. So we are solving the question of minimum jumps, and we have given a story of some Bob and his like wife. Let me open the open code first so that I can explain you guys. So there is some story about a husband who is finding his wife, and his wife is shopping in a mall, and yeah, it's a fun story. You can go ahead and read it. It's just to um, introduce some fun in a question, but the gist of the question is that we are given a vector. So we are given a vector here and the length of a vector, right? And what we have to find is integer, the number of steps. So we have to find the steps, the number of steps the husband will take to get to the point where his wife is shopping in the mall. So let's let's just break down this question. So we have given a output of an integer. So we have to give an integer output. We have our array on which we have to work, and we have the length of an array. Okay. And if you read this question here, it will tell you that uh, about the arcade mall and the unique method to shop, about jumps, how many jumps it would take. It will also tell you about from shop I, it lands between shop I to some shop A I. So what it is saying that, let's say this is a shop, and if the husband is here and he makes a jump, and here is some shop A at the ith index. So the jump would be from here to here, I plus A ith index. So this is given here. Then the length of a show, like array is given. It will start from 0 to n minus 1. And we have to work with three things here in very basic way. So we found out we have to like go through and find the uh, minimum jump. So we have to find first minimum jump. Then if we are finding minimum jump, then we know that we have to take some steps. So there will be some step variable. So to make a jump, we have to take some steps. So there uh, is some step variable, and then the maximum amount of jump we can make to get to the point where his wife is shopping. So we can go ahead and say we want a max jump variable. So we will work with these three. So we have to get this. We know we have to make some steps. Then when we start, we will have jump. Like we have to make an initial jump to reach at some point. So we can say jump at initial point is 1. So we know that we have to find this. We have to take this number of steps, and we will check between steps and this, that which is the maximum, and the initial jump would be 1. So I hope that is clear. So let's first work with this and make our initialize our variables so that we can work with our variables. So let me first make a array so that I can make you understand what I'm talking about. So we have an array here. I'm making a random array. Let's say 3, 1, 2, 4, and a husband is present here, like at I point. This is the number of step he could take. The value at index I is the number of step it can take. So our index right now is 0. So he can take 3 steps, and this is the number of max jump he can take. Because what is max jump? So max jump is equal to steps only. Like, see, the amount of max jump is dependent upon number of steps he is taking. So max jump is also uh, AI, or right now our initial at a zeroth, and the initial jump would be 1. So we found our step. This is our step, the number of step it could take. The number of step is actually the jumps he will make. So the number of step is this, the max jump is also this, and the first jump he would take is 1. The Because we have to jump for the first time, right? So let's first write this and initialize this. So we will say um, int int max jump is equals to our array I into step is equals to array I, and our int jump, because we have to make one jump. So the number of steps, the jumps, and the initial jump, we got this. Then if you can see, there can be few conditions here. If the shop is the the guy who is standing on a shop and his wife is also standing on a shop, he don't have to make any jumps because he is there. So you can say if a is 0, then we have to just return -1, because we don't have to do anything, right? I'm using a for array here. Like, this is the same thing, but I'm using a for my example's sake. So this is one condition. If the second condition would be if like the size of an array, like the total number of shop is only 1, then you don't have to go anywhere. That means the husband is also here, the wife is also here, so you have to return 0. What is this? I have to practice to write on this like pentap, because it seems like that I'm suffering with some condition when I see return my writing here 0. So these are the few conditions which we have to take care of, and we will then, if these two conditions doesn't hold true, then we will start from our index 1, because we have made first jump from index 0. I will start from our index 1 and we will go to our n minus 1 index to the end of our uh, array. So it would be n. Okay, so let's do this. Uh, Let me erase this and let me write the code. Okay, and okay, so okay, so let's go ahead and go for this condition. Okay, so if the number of shop is only 1, if n is equals to 1, then we have to return 0. We have to return 0. The second condition would be if else if array I is equals to 0 because we don't have any steps or any jumps here. So we will say return -1. So we wrote our condition here. Now I will traverse through the array from our int I is equals to 1. I will go to the end of an array and I plus plus. So I am using for loop for to traverse, and then I will check for jumps. So if I am checking for a jump, let's say like our I is equal to n minus 1, which is before the last element of an array. So this is 1, this is n minus 1. So if our I is here, then I have to return the jump, because obviously this jump will tell us where his wife is, right, at nth index. So we have to return a jump here. So we will get the jump like at the n minus 1 index, that how many more jumps or steps we have to take to get to the nth index. So we will say return um, jump. So yeah, okay, first I have to write the condition. I just return jump. It would return the values of every index. So int if our index is equals to n minus 1, then return jump. Okay, or else, like if it is at n minus 1 index, then return jump, or if it is somewhere in array, like it let's say if I is at somewhere in array, then we have to compare the this steps. Let's say here it is 5, and our max jump for here is 3. The maximum amount of jump it could take is 3, and the next index is 5. Then we will compare between two this, and the greater would be stored in max jump, because obviously 3 jump would not make you go far. Like the maximum amount of jump which can make you go farthest is 5. Then we will store the max jump here, right? So we will get like, okay, 3 is obviously greater than 5, so we have to take 5 steps to reach our girl faster, right? So check for the max jump. So max jump is equals to max. This is the function in our C++. So it will check between max jump and I plus array ith index, like which which element at a given index is the maximum, so that we can store it into max jump, and then we can jump towards the end of the array. And whenever we will do this, we will minus one step, because we are making a jump. That means we are taking one step, then we will make another jump, then we say, okay, okay, we are taking one more step, so our steps are decreasing. So we will say steps minus minus. Okay, so this will check for the max jump, and this will say, okay, our this will return a max jump and minus the step. Then if step is 0, if our steps become 0, that means we can't go anywhere from the given index. So we have to make one jump to get to an index where the max jump and step is there. So we will say um, step is equals to index is equals to 0. So increase the jump, because we have to jump toward to a given index where a value is present so that we can make our next jump. So this condition is here, and okay, there is one thing which is bugging me. I forgot to initialize it. Okay, so if step is equals to 0, say jump plus plus. If the second condition would be here, like after this step, if I is greater than equal to max jump, which is like if our index is greater than our max jump, that means that nullifies the thing, which it is not possible, right? Because we will be the end of an array, and if the index is greater than array, that is not possible, so we will return -1. Okay, so what we have done here, we traversed through it and we said ki if we are at n minus 1th index before the last index, then the return the jump, the maximum amount jump we can take, the return jump which we can take. If that's not the case, we will go ahead and say I want a max step which we have to take from a given index, uh, from I to I array ith index, compare between max jump and this value. And when we will compare this, the maximum amount, let's say 5 is here, 3 is here, then our maximum jump would be 5. But what we are saying, we are also saying that whenever we are making a jump, we are taking one step. So we are deducting a step here. So if step is equals to 0, if we don't have any step, we have to make one jump because we have to have some steps uh, to go somewhere, because we have to take some step. So if we don't have any step, we will make a jump to find us our step. If our index I is greater than max step, which is not possible, return -1. And after all of this, we can say we have to return what we have to return our this value. So I think if step is equals to 0, max jump, indentation, it is a nested if, return -1. So if this is the case, return this. If this is the case, return this. And after all of this, just return the steps. So let me say step is equals to, because we have to find the step, max jump minus I, though that would be the step, the maximum amount of jump we are taking, and the I, uh, the value I. Let me just make this. So let's run this code. What it is saying. Okay, here there's an error. Mhm. Okay, to check not equalize it to. Okay, now you can see all the test cases passes here. So we are taking a max step, we are saying steps, then we are saying our initial jump will be 1. If our shop is at a given point, then this is a case. If like there is no shop, then this is a case, we will traverse through it. If we are at the second last index, then we will return jump, or we will find for a max step, max jump, and say step minus minus, because we are taking a step. If steps become 0, then we will say okay, we need one more jump. We will make our one jump. If our index at a given I is greater than max step, which is not a case, we will return -1. And we have to return the minimum jump. So the minimum jump would be the steps, max jump would be which we took. Let's say we have took 5 jump, minus the amount of index we covered. So at, let's say we are at 4th index, and the max jump we took is 5. So we will minus the max jump which we got in our max jump variable, and our uh, index value from here. So this would give us the minimum jump. So again, if you want to understand this code in Hindi, the video will be in the description. If you want to read about this code, the link would be in the description. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.